Welcome everyone to Tech Talk, quote unquote, Rochester. The wonderful thing about doing these presentations virtually now is that you can expand your reach, right? So you don't have to limit it to Rochester because this is not an in-person workshop that you have to show up for. So welcome. I do want to recognize our special guest. Beverly Fairbrooks is the Vice President and Regional Community Reinvestment Officer at M&T Bank. And M&T Bank is our sponsor, and we thank them for their sponsorship and continued support. Beverly, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
You're very welcome. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to the speaker.
Great. And Hubert Vental, who is the president of Pathstone Enterprise Center, is also on the phone with us. Hubert, do you want to say anything?
Just hello, everybody, and welcome, and looking forward to the evening.
Great. I am Dion Jacques. I am a deputy director at Pathstone Enterprise Center. And Anthony Dixon is our technical assistance provider and an investor and consultant at SPA Capital Management. And our presenter is Michael Warren, founder and owner of View Signage LLC. Thank you all for being here. And to the participants, thank you for joining. We started this workshop series in March. It was our first attempt at doing Tech Talks in Rochester. We have done Tech Talks in Buffalo for, I think we're going into our second year, or we were in our second year last year. And we finally been able to bring it to Rochester. And because of the outbreak of COVID-19, our 4-week workshop series was interrupted, and we did get 2 workshops completed. Now we're finishing up the rest of the workshop series. And this evening, Michael Warren is going to be covering website development and e-commerce integration. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I hope that you'll get everything that you expected to get out of this workshop. Anthony?
Yeah, thank you, Dion, for that introduction. Again, I'm Anthony Dixon. I am a investor and consultant with SPA Capital Management. I just want to thank everybody again for coming out and spending this time with us, especially our special guests, Beverly and Hubert, and then definitely to Dion for allowing me to partner with you on Rochester or Tech Talks Rochester. We're pretty excited about this. As Dion mentioned, yeah, this is since I think last year, 2019, and getting started in March. We had some great workshops with market analysis, including learning a little bit more about sales, and then we had branding, and then the stay-home order came into effect, and I just wanted to make sure that we didn't stop the momentum and that we kept this going. So I'm definitely glad to have Michael today, and then our next speaker next week as well. So thank you. A couple of announcements before we get started again. May 13th is webinar 4, or workshop 4. That will be on social media with David Simons at Kingdom Social Media. David is a person that I am originally from Philadelphia, and so my company actually is based out of Philadelphia, and the person who I have used countless times platforms in a number of workshops before. So I'm really excited to have him next week. I am fortunate to bring up next our feature speaker, who is Michael Warren. I got a chance to see some of his work, some of the websites that he built. We've been talking back and forth since I think I reached out to him last year. We've been working on this presentation, so we're really excited to get this started. So I'll turn it over to Michael Warren to present and introduce himself. Thank you again.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Michael Warren. I'll be your speaker today. I'm the owner of View Signage LLC, a digital signage company. We improve an organization's operational efficiency, customer engagement, and offer management through digital signage and marketing, such as web pages and SEO. We also do custom programming, such as app development. Ready to get started? Let me share my screen. Okay, so web development for small businesses. All right. Okay, in this presentation, we're going to go over what is a website, why a website, 3 essentials needed to start a website, what type of host should I get or should you get, what type of web builder should I choose, organizing your website content, why social media, why is mobile-friendly website important, secured versus unsecured websites, should I use an online payment system, why are landing pages important, and the importance of web analytics. Okay, so what is a website? Okay, there are 2 ways to look at this. You can think of a website, which most people do think of a website, at least in the back of your head. A website is a digital communication medium, a visual interface in which you can communicate your services to potential customers all around the world via cloud, okay? Now, this almost makes doing websites seem magical, right? Using terms like the cloud. I'll tell you why it's more expensive to think this way for some people. You end up looking for a magician that will make everything magically appear, and you have no knowledge of how your website even functions or what you're exactly paying for, okay? There's another way to look at a website, okay? It's a set of HTML pages that organizes documents, images, video, and text you have stored on a remote hard drive that can be accessed by potentially any device that can get online via URL, okay? And that's most devices. That's always with you, always on technology, your smartphone, now your watch, pretty soon Google Glasses, you name it. Okay, why a website? Well, really, where have you been? But I had to include this slide just so, let you guys know why you should be getting a website. It's one of the most modern ways of businesses to showcase their services to potential clients across the world. It shows your company is professional. It's like having a permanent but dynamic advertisement that can be reached from virtually anywhere. 3 most important things you need to have a website is an address, a host, and a web builder. And I'll explain each of these, okay? An address you type into your web browser to get a certain website. This type of address is called a URL. A URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, a location or address identifying where documents can be found on the internet. You can get an address from any registrar and use it with any host. Now, a registrar is a place where you go to get an address. Now, nowadays, hosts can supply your address and can supply a web builder. We'll get into more of that, okay? The reasonable cost for an address these days is $8 to $16. Okay, if your address costs, let's say $8 to get, you can get protection on your address, like if you don't want anyone to know that you own it, and privatize it for like $8 extra a year. The only reason why address would be expensive is if someone is holding on to it and it's a very popular name. So a lot of people, they buy up hundreds of addresses because they think they're going to, to be able to resell it for a higher price. So that's why an address can go for a lot of money. I've seen addresses go for $10,000. Okay, a host, a place on a computer server that can be anywhere in the world with an internet connectivity. This stores all your information, images, video, documents, and text. The address points to this host. So when people type in the address, they go to your website. They go to that storage place with all your videos, images, documents, and text, okay? And now it's going to a certain block of memory on that running computer server called a host, sometimes referred to as a cloud. Most hosts can supply you with an address, URL, and website builder, okay? Now, web builder. A web builder, right? An online website builder used to create, render an HTML page for your potential users to view and navigate through, all right? This builder will govern how all the images, text, and videos will be navigated and shown on your web page. Reasonable cost is usually included with your host nowadays, okay? But these are 3 things you need to know to be able to break down the cost, if you're gonna pay someone to do it, if you want to go get an address first, if you wanna go get your host first and everything like that, and then say, okay, well, I need, this type of builder to do my site, or, you know, I only need a certain piece to do it, you know. Only reason why you should really be saying, well, you know, I don't want to touch this site at all, just have you do it. If you're a big, you know, company, worldwide company, then you need an agency, okay? Okay, so what type of host should I get, okay? There are two inexpensive but effective hosts to choose from. It all depends on how tech savvy you are, or if your buddy is, you know, your buddy, your nephew. So you have hosts like Wix. The pros to a host like Wix, there's tons of pre-built templates. There's no coding needed. It gives good deals on URL purchases. Oftentimes it's free for the first year or two. Comes with a smart builder that helps you build your website. Cons with that: may not be so easy to change your template or other features on the site. Will not take third-party integration. So you may see something really cool that you want to put on your website, and it's made by such and such a developer, but if they're not a Wix developer, if they're not a Wix, it's not going to work with your website. And if you want to add certain things, or you want to add, you know, certain specialties to your site, it can get pricey, you know, with going with a company like Wix, because you have to use a Wix tool, you know. So yeah. So conclusion is good for small scale websites, mostly for artists, musicians, and photographers looking to, you know, to share their pictures or their music, you know, or their art. Okay. Other similar hosts to this are Squarespace, Site123, Simple Site. Now, hosts like HostGator. The pros with HostGator comes with the options to install a small variety of best-rated CMSs, you know, like WordPress. These types of CMSs gives you control over your site. You own and control all of your data. Coding is not mandatory, but useful and provide customization. There's access to thousands of ready-made templates, and access to 55,000 plus free and paid widgets, at least for WordPress alone. The cons for this: you're responsible for managing essential site features. No built-in drag and drop website builder unless you install the right widgets. So with these 55,000 free and paid widgets, there are a lot of widgets that you can actually install that allow you to drag and drop to build, you know, your website. So in conclusion, it's great for beginners who want to build a website and control the costs along the way. You can find some of the best free and paid apps to make money online. We'll get into that too. Similar hosts to HostGator is GoDaddy, Bluehost, Hostinger. Okay, let's get into web builders. WordPress. WordPress is a very secure, stable, and fully capable of running an e-commerce website. Over 35% of the internet is powered by WordPress. WordPress is a free and open source platform with a ton of capabilities. There are hundreds of free e-commerce themes to choose from. I would make sure you choose an e-commerce theme if you want to sell online. This will seamlessly integrate with e-commerce plugins like WooCommerce. Okay. So when you're looking for a plugin, when you're looking for like a template, make sure it's an e-commerce template. This will save you a lot of time and frustration. Or if you're using a small company, or using a company or a freelancer to do your website, then, you know, have them, you know, choose the best template for you when they feel most comfortable to do an e-commerce site. You know, you can tell them, well, I like this colors, and I want this, put this here, but it's best let them choose, you know, template, and that works best with e-commerce. It'll save you a lot of headache, you know, in the future. Okay, there's other CMSs that are pretty good. Joomla is also a free and open source web building application. It is very stable and secure. It comes with a variety of extensions and plugins to choose from, just like WordPress. It's a lot more complicated to use, but can support advanced web applications well. This would not be a system to choose if you are going about it yourself. This would be a developer's choice. Now, Drupal is also a free and open source web building application. It is most stable and secure. This is a CMS that most developers stay away from due to complexity. This CMS is made for rather large organizations with multiple agencies working on different parts of content and programming at the same time. It comes with robust data image repositories, advanced user permissions, and version control. Okay, so if you want a Drupal site, that means you're a huge organization, and it's going to be like magic to you. Okay, you're going to have to hire, you know, Harry Potter to do your website. You know, you might as well. You know, because it's going to be, you know, intense. You know. Okay. Hosts like HostGator caters to web builders like WordPress, Most even optimize their servers to handle applications such as WordPress. They usually have one-click installs, and I'll show you that, later. Hosts like Wix comes with built-in web builders that you should choose. Okay, using an outside builder with these types of hosts may cause issues. So hosts like Wix, you have to use a builder that comes with Wix. You can't use a web builder. So you can't use WordPress with Wix. Okay, so and WordPress is the most popular CMS, but you have to use the Wix builder for that. Okay, and just know what you want to do before you go to a host like Wix. If you want to do something out of the box, just make sure you go through, what they can provide you. Content. There are multiple reasons why your website needs to be organized. It allows users to easily navigate through your site. Second, it allows search engines to categorize your site easier and get higher relevancy to each page. This will increase your SEO and Google rankings. Steps needed to organize your website data. List your pages. When you list your pages, think about what you want in the pages. So, for instance, you want a front page with a mission statement, what you do. You might want your contact information there. You want social media on there. You want an about page. You want a contact page. Excuse me. You want a services page. Okay. You at least want these types of pages, and whatever you're doing, you want to make sure you have your pages. You have your pages listed of what you want on paper, on your computer, and so forth. Okay. Visual hierarchy. You want your content broken up into paragraphs, headings, and subheadings. Okay, because a person's eyes, they scan the web page for what they want to see first, and then they'll see everything else. Okay, so you want to break it up so the person can easily read your page, and also the Google bots can read your page well as too, and it'll raise your Google rankings. You want a call to action on there. Kind of call to action on the page. A lot of people that go to web pages, they don't want to search for content. They actually want to be led to certain things, So if you have a call to action or something, then okay, this is the next thing I go to after I read this content. Here's where I go to next, and that goes over well with users that's going to the websites. Be consistent. Be consistent with your website. Have branding in place. If your colors are blue and red, make sure that your accent is red, your headings are blue, and make sure that it matches your site. So, for instance, if I'm an advertisement on Facebook, and it's about selling these type of shoes, make sure that advertisement looks like the page that when they click on, they're going to go to that web page. Make sure the advertisement resembles that page. Okay, you have to be consistent and make sure each of the pages stay consistent with the same type of design, and make sure the logo stays consistent with the page. Optimize. Okay, make sure your content's optimized. Make sure that your grammar is spelled right. If you have SEO, you need to worry about the keywords and make sure everything is optimized in there, so not only the people can scan it better, but Google can too. Okay, now we're going to go to social media. All right. Okay, social media. Being active on these platforms and having social links on your website is crucial in your digital marketing efforts. To say social media is important to digital marketing would be an understatement. If a person is constantly online, there is a 99% chance they have an account on social media. Whether it's communicating with old new friends, getting their daily news, to spying on current potential employees. Mostly every demographic that can be targeted is on social media. Most likely, the niche that you are looking for is on social media as well too. So if you're looking to target a niche, social media is a great way to do that. Like Facebook groups. 3 of the biggest social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Facebook has 2.5 billion active users each month. Twitter has a total number of active Twitter users is 330 million. For LinkedIn, over 575 million users are online with LinkedIn, with more than 260 million monthly active users. So these are the most popular social media sites when it comes to businesses. And of course, there's other ones like Instagram that's growing, and as well as Pinterest that is growing as well, and a new TikTok. We'll see where TikTok ends up in about a year. Okay, mobile friendly. All right. Billions of people search on their mobile phones each day. Mobile devices are now a central part of everyday life, always with you, always on technology. Now more often than not, if someone hears something about your business product and wants to know more, the first thing they reach for is what is already at hand. Most people would rather search for your business on their phones, and the technology speed is only getting better. So for instance, if McDonald's came out with a new food item like tasty crab cakes with real crab meat, and everyone was talking about it, I would open my phone and expect to be able to experience everything about those crab cakes on my phone besides the actual taste and smell, right? This is because I know McDonald's would be on point with a product like this. So you see, people associate your business professionalism with how easy it is to access information about your product and what you do. In 2020, they expect that whatever interface they bring your business upon should fit their screen perfectly. It's no more, wow, this company has a site that even looks good on mobile. It's just expected. Okay. All the way 2 years ago, in 2018, mobile traffic usage was at 52%, surpassed desktop usage, which was at 48%. And it's only getting greater. The divide's only getting greater. Okay, secured versus unsecured.
Hey, Michael.
What's the difference between, yes.
This is Anthony. Really quickly, I just wanted to stop you really fast. We had two good questions about what you were talking about before. Actually, we have three. So one, you mentioned optimization, so SEO. Will you be talking about that later on in the slides?
I'll definitely touch on that. Yeah.
Okay. What actually?
Definitely touch on that.
Cool. And then
Right.
I think we had a question. Sandra had a question. How do you find a target market for small businesses? And Sandra, if you can come on and actually elaborate a little bit on that question, so he may can answer that for you.
You were talking about your social media and
Yeah.
all the the people that utilize that, and you should be able to find your niche. And for that small business person, how are they going to find that that ideal client? What are the strategies that they could use? For example, if I know I sell gourmet cheese, and the typical person who does that is 35 to 50 years of age, and they live in a particular zip code and they have income of 200,000. How do I find that in social media?
Yeah, so I was going to answer that unless you wanted to jump in, Mike.
Oh, you can answer, then I can fill you in.
Okay.
If you already have.
So, normally small businesses, the best thing about Facebook, which is really good, is they have what's called advertising. Just like anything, they have a feature where you can advertise or you can boost posts. And basically what it allows you to do is it gives you just a drop-down menu of all your demographics as far as who's on Facebook, as far as interest, demo. I haven't seen yet about income. I haven't been able to target through income, but I know that they have behavior, they have occupation, they have a whole list of categories that you can search throughout their users to target your messages directly to whoever your audience is.
So you're going through the advertisement component of Facebook?
Correct, yeah. I haven't necessarily, I know that now they launched a really cool thing called Facebook groups. And one of the cool things that you could do is you could look up people who like gourmet cheese, and maybe there's a group for it. And it's really cool for your business to probably join that group, because that is a organic audience for your small business already. So that's a cool feature that they launched during the Super Bowl, if you remember that.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else to add, Michael?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Facebook, when you choose to target people on Facebook, you can choose the demographic data. But you can also just go on Facebook and say, you know, I want to look up cheese and I want to look up this. And then you can find Facebook groups, join that group, and then be a part of their discussion. You know, same thing with all the other ones. You know, join the group, be a part of the discussion, you know, and then, oh, by the way, you know, and then you know, bring up your services and everything. So.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The last one's from Yolan. She talked about Instagram, and I guess she was saying like, what do you think about it? Because you didn't put that on your list. Facebook actually owns and acquired Instagram, and normally in that 2 billion, their numbers is counted for Instagram. So definitely utilize Instagram, especially if your audience are visual and they like small clips and videos. So I hope that answers your question too.
Yeah, thank you. I was just asking about that because, I mean, if you're doing a jewelry business, it's more visual based versus, you know, say text based with Twitter, you know, such. So I was just wondering, you know, what your thoughts were on Instagram since it wasn't mentioned. So thanks.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that you want to have depending on who your audience is. And that's what we did in that marketing analysis part. You know where your audience is going to live. And if they're not on Facebook, they might be on Instagram or they're on some other platform. So yeah, that's a good. Sorry about that, Michael. I think that was the last question, and I'll let you go back to your slides.
All right, secured versus unsecured. What's the difference between a secured site versus an unsecured site? Okay, a secured site has SSL. SSL is secure socket layer. Secured socket layer install, that's what SSL is. It's a standard security technology for establishing an encrypted link between a server and a client, typically a web server, a website and a browser, or a mail server and a mail client, you know, like Outlook. So it stops hackers from accessing the data in between it going, you know, from your computer to the web server. So that's what that does. So if you are buying products online or someone is buying products from you, so if you're buying products online, you use your credit card, that credit card will have to go from your computer all the way to that server to, you know, to buy that product, that your credit card information. Hackers can take that information in between unless you have, you know, unless the website has SSL installed on it, okay? An unsecured website does not have SSL installed, all right? Misuse, and there are things that can happen. Well, I'll explain it. Misuse of data. All confidential information on your site can be accessed by hackers. Downranking. Your website may be marked as insecure by Google and rated as not trustworthy, which your site will lose rankings in SERP. Okay, SERP is basically a response that you get when you type information into Google. Like, so if you're looking for something, the response you get, the pages listed below that response is what SERP is. You understand? Like, so if you type in dogs into Google, and the page that you get under that response is basically SERP. MITM attacks. Okay, MITM, or man in the middle, is a kind of attack where an attacker creates an interface between two ends, server and browser. That's another way that people can steal your information. Loss of customers, trust, and brand image. Websites that have HTTPS are regarded to be more credible by the customers. They may switch over to your competitor's sites if your website doesn't fit into the above criteria. If your website data is leaked or security is compromised by not having SSL certificates, then it may hurt your brand image. Okay, display warnings by search engines. Search engines such as Google issue warnings to the users who might be visiting a site which does not have an SSL certificate. So it's very important to have an SSL versus, you know, non-SSL. If you're doing e-commerce, then it's a must-have. Then don't get an e-commerce site if you don't have SSL installed. So right when you get a host, ask them. I think HostGator gives free SSL with all plans now, and all hosts should do that. So you should ask for that when you do sign up for a host. Now, when you do get a website with a shopping cart, you need a merchant account and a payment gateway. Now, there's a difference between a merchant account and payment gateway, although a lot of places, they act as both. Okay, a merchant account is a bank account that allows a customer to receive payments through credit or debit cards. Merchant providers are required to obey regulations established by card associations Many processors act as both the merchant account as well as the payment gateway, like PayPal. Okay? Payment gateway, the front-end technology responsible for securely passing credit card information between the customer and the merchant. So this is the website. This is the interface that you go to, to see what money's coming in. It's a gateway where people buy your product from, like the shopping cart. And it says, okay, we'll put in your card information here. So it's the interface that you're using that takes that payment information and sends it to the merchant, the sponsoring bank. Top 5 reasons why businesses choose digital payments. You can save money through the payment lifecycle, make customers and vendors happier because it's a very easy way to do business. It cuts down on errors. It's just a computer, doing the numbers behind the scenes. You can gain better insights into cash flow management and cash management by having reports done, every so often, every week or every month about what your sales were, and so forth. You can hook that up further to Google Analytics and do further investigations on how you did that month and what you should change for next month. And you can mitigate fraud risk. And there's a lot of fraud protection programs through PayPal, Stripe, and other ones, which we'll talk about. PayPal. I featured PayPal because they're one of the world's most widely used payment systems. PayPal is a merchant account and a payment gateway. Many buyers already have PayPal accounts, and they don't even need one to make payment transactions with a credit card, which provide an extra level of security. You can get both standard and pro features when it comes to PayPal. Both standard and pro features accept PayPal and credit cards, or PayPal and PayPal Credit, US only. They accept credit cards and debit cards. They accept 25 currencies from over 200 countries and markets. They're optimized for mobile checkout experience. They have simplified PCI compliance, and they have one-touch TM, which enables checkout with a click of a button. So with PayPal, you can just install a piece of code on your site, really easy, just a button, and it'll basically send that customer to PayPal's website to buy the product that was next to that button. That was basically next to that button. To make a long story short, and I'll get more into that. PayPal Pro comes with extra features. Keeps customers on your site throughout the payment process. So it's like they use your shopping cart instead of PayPal shopping cart, so they stay on your website. There's a customizable checkout experience. You can accept phone payments with a virtual terminal. With both PayPal and with PayPal Pro, you pay a flat rate of 2.9% plus 30 cents per US transaction. Getting to Authorize.net. Okay, Authorize.net is also a merchant account and payment gateway. With Authorize.net, you can accept online payments and transfer funds into a merchant bank account quickly. It supports all major credit cards, including Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, Diners Club, and JCB. The platform is compatible with digital payments, with payment services such as Apple Pay, PayPal, and Visa Checkout. Features included in Authorize.net: fraud prevention, customer information manager, recurring payments, invoicing, simplified checkout. With all-in-one plan, you pay a $25 monthly fee, a flat rate of 2.9% with 30 cents per US transaction, and you can cancel anytime. With payment gateway only plan, you pay a $25 month fee and a flat rate of 10 cents per transaction and a 10 cents daily batch fee. With Stripe, Stripe is also a merchant and payment processor. It's a fairly new payment processing company that seamlessly integrates with the newest technologies out of the box. They are constantly evolving as new features are added weekly. Millions of the world's most innovative technology companies are scaling faster and more efficiently by building their businesses on Stripe. Lyft uses Stripe to handle payouts to all of their drivers and to issue them, Lyft cards as well too. You can do that with Stripe. Anyone can do that now with Stripe. Some features with Stripe: they accept all major credit cards, ACH debit, credit card transfers, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Microsoft Pay, Alipay, and more. Comes with fully integrated solution to handle fraud and disputes with Stripe Radar, Dynamic Secure, and dispute handling automated programs. Provides a self-serve interface for customers to set up recurring payments for subscriptions. combines a one-time payment for hardware and recurring payments for an ongoing service plan into a single transaction. So you can do advanced transactions with Stripe. So it can get very complex, and it can be very simple as well too. It all depends on how you want it, how you want to go with it. Stripe also provides financial and business services, like corporate card, Stripe Capital, and Stripe Atlas. So it can also give you business loans. With Stripe, you pay a flat rate of 2.9% with 30 cents per U.S. transaction. The worst online payment systems have the same issues in common. Yeah, most online payment systems that you should stay away from, they have expensive monthly, annual, and early termination fees. They're non-cancelable or long-term contracts and leases. So they have non-cancelable or long-term contracts, once you sign up for them. There's numerous public complaints from current and former merchants. There's reports of poor customer support, a poor rating for, the Better Business Bureau, proven or suspected affiliations with other ill-reputed companies. And I'll go into the two worst payment systems right now. Northern Leasing Systems. Okay, these are just two examples of, really bad, agencies that you should not go with. Okay, cost and contract. Northern Leasing Systems offers a 4-year lease contract that cannot be canceled. Complaints and service. Northern Leasing Systems has received more than 400 public complaints. UBB rating. Northern Leasing Systems has a D+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and has received 286 complaints and 60 reviews in the past 3 years. Sales and marketing. Northern Leasing Systems exclusively uses third-party independent sales agents to market its products and has received a high number of complaints about its sales practices. How merchants, rates and fees, how merchants got the best rates with Northern Leasing Systems. Sorry, that was probably a mistake. The rates and fees are basically really high. And, that's the gist of it. Lease Finance Group. Costs and contract. Lease Finance Group offers 48-month non-cancelable equipment leases that often cost many times the purchase price of the equipment. Lease Finance Group has received more than 1,000 public complaints. They have a B rating with the Better Business Bureau and have received 65 complaints, 74 reviews in the last 3 years. They allow independent sales agents to package its equipment leases with other merchant accounts, has received an extremely high number of merchant complaints about its sales practices. So, and again, their rates and fees are pretty high. Let's go into landing pages. Landing pages are very important, by the way, if you're looking to do campaigns for your products. Okay, a landing page is a single web page that serves as an end destination to a search engine, optimized search result, marketing promotion, marketing email, or an online advertisement. Unlike a web page, a landing page has a single focus or goal known as a CTA, call to action. Web pages typically encourage exploration and has many goals. A landing page is made to automate your marketing process and increase conversion rates of a particular campaign. So the start of the funnel here, you can use if it's a Google, if it's a Google search, or if it's through Facebook, like a Facebook ad that you're doing. If you're on Twitter and you put your link to your page on Twitter, if it's through MailChimp and you're sending out email, or if it's through like Instagram, wherever your funnel starts, you're basically advertising on that, or and then from there they go to a landing page. So they click on the link. If they like what they see, they go to the landing page, and it basically reiterates what your ad was, if it was in Google, Facebook, Twitter, email, or Instagram. And then from there, it goes to a conversion. If they follow the CTA, the call to action, if they click to buy a product, if they click to sign up, that basically creates the conversion right here. Best practices with a landing page. There are two main things that separate a landing page from a website: attention ratio and message match. Attention ratio deals with how much attention is being put on a product you are trying to sell. Okay, attention ratio. Okay, regular homepage might have an attention ratio of 24:1, meaning there are 24 things, objects for one visitor to look at. Generally, that's what a homepage is. Okay, general summary of the whole company and website. A successful landing page should have an attention ratio as close to 1:1 as possible. That means you're advertising this product. When they click on it and they go to the website, they see this product. Okay? Message match. Okay, message match is the ability of your landing page matching the message of the ad that brought them there. Most visitors will leave your site within a few seconds if you do not reinforce the message of the ad. It's crucial that your potential customers' journey, their journey flows from ad to page smoothly. More suggestions: ensure your messaging matches your ads. Keep the action above the fold. Use directional cues to direct the eye. Show your product, service in action. Remove navigation and other distractions. Use clear and a compelling story. Keep it fast and simple. Design for the right device. So have it responsive. So that looks good on desktop, it looks good on mobile, it looks good on tablet, at least. Test and update your landing pages.
Brenda has a question for you. She wants to know, is a landing page where you would advertise your minority women business enterprise status?
No, that would be more of your full website, and that would be like in the about section. I mean, that can be in your, in your mission statement, or it can be, let's say, a badge on your homepage to say, yes, you are an MBE.
What I was wondering was, if you're trying to bring people to your page because you're an MWBE, and perhaps they're like in a construction contract, they might be looking for MWBE participants. Would that be, I mean, is that something, where do I put it in order to optimize my search engines, my search engine optimization? In other words, how do I get people attracted to that page because I feel that need?
Okay, what you would do is you would make your keyword the minority woman business enterprise, and you would talk about it on that page. So you
can have more than one keyword? You can have more than one keyword.
Yes, you can have more than one keyword. That would be your main keyword. Would be MWBE. Another keyword would be basically what you do, but you would pad that and other words that resemble that word that is synonymous to what you're doing. So if you're on there and you're selling construction, okay, so you would pad your page full of construction terms and MWBE terms, and you would use MWBE repeatedly in your site. And so this way, when Google comes to search your site and find that, okay, so it goes to your heading, and the bot goes to your heading and says, okay, well, they are proclaiming to be an MBE contractor. So we're going to read through, her page, and we're going to see, if it's really relevant, because Google wants to show people, that what they search for is relevant to them. So that's why you rank higher in Google. If the bots in Google see your page as relevant to what that person is currently searching for, right? So you're going to want to, have a lot of content on there talking about being an MBE and being in construction, and make sure that is the main topic, and that all of your subheadings and content follow that, and that makes your page relevant to people, and it makes it relevant to Google, and they're going to rank it higher. So people searching for that type of content for MWBE or doing construction, Google's going to take that and rank it higher, and also have your make sure your location is in there. So you have to understand what people are searching for when you're looking for an MBE or for an MWBE contractor in construction. Okay, and so you can go to an SEO expert like myself and another company, and we can actually go and find out what people are searching for and what's the most common word that people are searching for when they want to find an MWBE contractor. You take that word that people are searching for a lot, like, okay, this search term was used 20,000 times last month to find people just like you. You want to take that word and you want to take that word and you want to pad your web page with that word. And then that would make it relevant to not only the people, but also the Google bots. And that's the basis of SEO, for search engine optimization. It's basically padding your web page. Yeah. So that is it. So good content is basically, is good SEO. Also, if your page runs fast, that's also good SEO. Another thing that's good, that's a good SEO. Make sure your contact information is on there. And there's actually a way to tag your content, to tag your contact information, so the bots will actually find it faster. So instead of putting, like I'm probably getting too technical here, but instead of paragraph tags to list a paragraph, or or your company name or your location, you can actually use a tag location, and Google will find it faster. So make sure when you go to whoever you're going to use to go to your website, say you want to pad your tags with, like, you want your telephone to have telephone tags on it, not just regular HTML tags. You want it to say TEL, and things like that. That also helps to rank you better in Google and how your page loads. So make sure that you don't put heavy images on there on your page. Have it simple enough that it loads fast. Because the faster it loads, the better Google's going to rank your page. If your page takes 30 seconds to load, then Google's going to rank it low, because no one has that type of attention span anymore when going to web pages to watch something load. When they can just click somewhere and see another page load really, really quick.
Michael, can I try to take a shot at it?
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. So let's say you were featured in an article because of a contract that you executed and it went very well, and you wanted to put that on your social media. But instead of them going directly to your website, because maybe they don't need to know everything about your business yet, but they just want to know more about why you were selected for that award because you're MBE. That's when you use a landing page. It's just, like you said, like it's a couple of sheets. It's not your full website. It's just a page for them to get, oh, he was featured. This is what it was about. This is the award, or this is what the mention was about. This is what the contractor said, and this is what people are talking about him. And then if they want more, that call to action, hey, you want more about what she can do? Click on this link, and then that sends them directly to your website, where now they're engaging more about, oh, your past jobs, your past experience, your certifications, and more about your business. Does that help?
Yeah, so therefore I can have more than one landing page. I can have different subjects. Like, say I want to have one that I'm an NWBE, the other one I want to talk about my expertise in commercial construction or something. I can have more than one landing page, or is it just one?
Well, you know what? For you, I would do a website, but I would also do search engine optimization and just have your front page as your, capability statement. And then your other pages as far as your services, what you do. I mean, if you can get that into one page, fine. But if you want to have other pages that really flesh out everything that you can do, and you want that prime contractor to look through, this, you did this, oh, you went to school here, this and that, oh, here's your mission, here's what you'd like to do and everything. Another page is a contact page. But if you want to advertise certain services and, you want to be clear and concise, have one simple page that says, yeah, these are my capabilities, this is what I do, blah, blah. Yes, you can have a landing page for that. You can have I've never seen it done, but you know what? That is a really good idea, to have a capability statement as landing page. So I know you didn't say capabilities, but I know if you want a landing page, it would just be a capability statement that they can see over, really quick. And you can put SEO to that, and you can also advertise that in a way of, yes, I'm an MWBE construction. And so those can be your key phrases. And then hook that up to, whatever social media site you're using with your ad. And then they click over, and then.
Michael, this is Dion. Sandra would like to know, where should the landing page exist or be placed?
The landing page. Okay, so if you have a website, your website is shoes.com. Your landing page will be on the front page, and there will be no links to your landing page. There will be no. It'll just be what you're advertising. So it wouldn't go anywhere else. So a landing page is just like a web page, but has no links to other pages. So that's where you could have a subdomain. So if your website is redshoes.com and you want to advertise, a certain type of shoe, then it'll be a certain type of shoe.redshoes.com. And then you can put a landing page on that site where people would just go to that page and it wouldn't link to any other page until you go to redshoes.com. So you can have a landing page with a subdomain, or just have a landing page and no web page at all. So a landing page is basically a web page, but it's basically a ratio that's 1-to-1 instead of 24-to-1. Remember, 24-to-1 is you have 24 items on a page with one person looking at it, and you want them to see everything. 1-to-1, you have one person looking at it with just looking at one product, the one goal in mind. If you have multiple goals that you want one person or one agency to look at, it's essentially a web page. Does that make sense?
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And
Okay.
Yvonne wanted to know, is a landing page related to what is part of a funnel?
Yes. So let me go back to this page. This is actually a funnel right here. So marketing funnel. So start a funnel is your social media, right? And then in the middle of the funnel is the landing page, right? And the funnel, again, that's what a funnel is. It goes to one product. It goes down to one thing it focuses on one thing. And that one thing is made to cause a conversion right here. Okay, so it's basically when you're targeting one subject and you're looking for a certain response, quote unquote call to action, and then you want to measure that. So yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. I just wanted to clarify, where do you get a landing page made? Like, is that part of like what you would get from a host?
Well, you can get a landing page anywhere you can get a website, basically.
Okay.
You can go to HostGator, and just do a one-pager. And with that one-pager, say, yeah, I'm creating one page, and when you go to, menu navigation, there is none. You just don't include it. If you go with someone like Wix or something like that, or Squarespace, there should be an option. I'm not sure, but there should be an option not to include navigation and just have a one-pager. And I know Squarespace has something like that, where they have a lot of one pages. They do one pages really, really well. That's one thing that I do know. But it's anywhere you go to do a web page, it's just the method of doing it is the difference between a landing page and a web page is your method of doing it.
Okay,
But you get it all the same way.
Sorry to interrupt. So the landing page, it's not a separate function or a separate category when you're in there designing your website. Like it's not a category that says build the landing page and then you can build your website. Does that make sense?
No, right. It's either or you can have both. You can have a website that shows everything you do, right? And then you can have a landing page that's separate than your website if you have a special running. So suppose you have a special of what you're trying to do. Of one thing that you're trying to do, it is 20% off for the month of May. And you want to advertise that so much, or you have a discount on a certain product that you want to sell, and all of a sudden you have 2,000 extra of this product because it was so cheap, it was on clearance, and you want to get rid of this product. You would create a separate landing page, and you would create a social media, you would create a campaign, on one of the social media sites just for that product. And then it would link just to that one landing page that you create separate from your website. And I would say separate from your website so you can put analytics on it and measure how much people actually went to your website so you can tell how good your social media efforts are. By looking at how much people went to your website because of whatever social media effort that you did. An SEO expert even just regular web developer, a regular web developer would be able to, to give you those reports or those information. And again, you can do that yourself as well too. That brings into my next slide with Google Analytics. And to answer your question, this page right here, more answers your question. It's the importance of web analytics. Okay, Google Analytics is one of the most complete, stable, and inexpensive tools for analyzing your web data. You can get insight to what your customers are doing on your website and have the tools to analyze the data. Google Analytics is a very much needed addition to your landing or full web page. You can find out things like where your visitors are coming from, how long did they stay on the page, what did they click on, either the CTA, subscribe buttons, playback controls, etc. Another good one is AW Stats. AW Stats comes with your host. Like if you get HostGator, they have a cPanel that you go to, and they have this program called AW Stats. When you click on it, you can find all sorts of information about your users, about your visitors, your unique visitors, the visitors that's just showing up and not coming back. They give you a lot of different stats like that. Whatever host you choose should have a free stat mechanism where you can bring up stats and you can see the server bandwidth used and things like that.
Michael, thank you so much for that. We did have one other question. Brenda wanted to know, is there a separate charge for a landing page? So you bought your website, your domain name, and you've got a website, but you want a landing page. Is there a separate charge for that? How does that work?
Well, it depends on the
Michael, the reason why I asked that question is because I originally had my domain hosted by Bluehost. So they contacted me and said, we'll do your website. We'll give you 5 pages for this price. And I'm like, okay, well, my 5 was going to be about us and, the 5 pages. So I'm wondering now, typically, do you pay separate for a landing page versus the 5 pages that they include in their price? Is that typical?
Yes. That is typical because it's just more work.
Okay.
They have to, whoever is doing that, it takes more time. So if they build your web page and everything, and then, so they're essentially building another web page, well, they built your web pages, I should say, but they're going to build an extra web page, and I can get it for free unless they have a special and they say, hey, value add, this is for free. If they're not going to do that, there's going to be an extra cost for it. If you want a web page and a landing page, but if you, in the very beginning, if you don't have a website already, you want a landing page, then you can, talk to whoever's doing your page and include that in the price. Like, you know what, when you do my web page, I want you to do the web page, but I want this page to be a landing page. This page be like, a lot of people have their front web page as a landing page. That usually serves as a landing page, unless you're doing, like I said, like a hardcore, you have all these products and you want to push it out as quick as you can, and you want to see how good you do, this month, and what, methods you should change up next month because you're really pushing this one product, If you don't have anything like that, then, essentially the web developer would make your landing page your first page, or you can tell them, I want this page, my first page, landing page, and they might say, okay, well, landing page means that you need Google Analytics on it, and you need a call to action, and you need things like that on it, and if you're not going to do that, I would just do the web page and direct people to your front page, because usually that would be good enough for prime contractors to kind of know what you're doing. Wait, is this the same person for prime contractors, MWBE, or is this a different person?
Yeah, this is the same person. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I would just include that with the developers. Say, I want a certain page that all developers land on, and essentially that is your homepage. But if you really want a separate, domain for your landing page to do other stuff, you can ask them to create you a subdomain. That's something whatever .yourwebsite.com, where that something whatever is like a a funnel to whatever you're trying to, to do. That would be your one thing, your marketing funnel would be one thing that you're trying to promote for this certain period of time.
Okay.
Okay, any final questions for Michael?
I did see a question about building a website. That was something that we thought could fit in this time frame, but we're definitely going to have a part 2, just because I think a lot of people are visual learners, so it would be great to just show them a little bit of how to walk through it and see the back end of a website. But does anybody else have any last questions, thoughts, or comments before we adjourn for the night? All right, if nobody else has a question, thank you again for attending. This definitely was really informational and definitely something needed as you start to look at how you're going to just change your business model. That's what happened with this pandemic. It just made us look at how we actually service our customers. How do we actually take our business online, make it more digital? So thank you, everybody. Thank you again to Beverly at M&T Bank. Thank you to Herbert and Dion. And I'm terrible at pronouncing your name. I'll get it. Actually, can you tell me how you say your name? Yvonne. Yvonne. All right. Not Yvonne. Director at Buffalo.
Jahida?
Yeah, Haida. There we go.
No
So
problem.
pretty. I'll get it one day.
It's okay.
We will be sending out the presentation, so look out for that tomorrow, guys.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dion.
You're welcome. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for putting up with me for an hour.
Yeah, thank you, Michael, again for everything.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay.